Hi, I'm Mrs. Burley. I'm the library media specialist here at Northlake Middle School. And today we're going to talk a little bit about calendaring and how to keep yourself organized during distance learning. So you can see I'm here in Google Classroom, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Google Classroom calendar as well as Google Calendar and how you can incorporate both together as one. So I'm going to start here in Google Classroom. I'm on this main page, and you can see here I have a couple of buttons that I can push up here. One of them is Calendar. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Calendar. And that's going to open up the Google Classroom Calendar. And the nice thing about this is that you can see each week, you can see what assignments you have. It will also show you if you have meetings coming up. You can look at it as a view from all classes, like I have it right now. And obviously, it's the beginning of the school year. There's nothing calendared yet, but it will grow. I could also click on that little down arrow right there, and I could click into any of my classes to see just the work that is due or the meetings that are set for that class. So there is a way to look at it as all classes or to click on a specific class here and just see the view for that class. You can also see what's coming up just by clicking on that side arrow to go to the weeks ahead. So this is a nice little handy Google Classroom calendar to keep track of your assignments and your meetings. But we want to make sure that you also understand that there is something called Google Calendar, and we want to make sure that we can link what's happening in your Google Classroom calendar with Google Calendar because you might use that on a different basis. So I'm going to go back to my main classes, and I'm going to go into one of the classes where I am a student. I'm going to go up here to classwork. And you can see here now I have where I can see my assignments and the topics there and the assignments that are under them. But I also have a link here to Google Calendar. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you'll notice it looks a little different than the Google Classroom calendar. It is not the exact same calendar, but we can link the two of them together so that everything that you're doing in Google Classroom will show up on this main Google Calendar. First of all, before we do that, kind of get you oriented with what we're looking at. Right now, I'm looking at it on a week view. You can change the view by day, by month. I even like doing it by schedule because then it kind of shows me everything that's coming up. And it's even color coded depending on what kind of calendars I have open at the moment. But it's nice to be able to change that view depending on what you need. I'm going to go ahead and put it back on a week. You'll also notice the colors. There are different colors. Like right now, my Aaron Burley calendar is showing up in blue, and I think my Northlake meetings calendar is showing up in this gold color. So depending on what calendar you have open, you can control the coloring, and it makes it easy to know what you're looking at. So over here on the left side, I have like a main menu. If you're not seeing that, it just means it's hidden. So you go up here to the 3-line bar. I'll hide it for a minute, and you just click on that menu and it will pull down that menu for you. You can see I have several calendars under my calendar, and then I can also go to other calendars and find my Google Classroom calendars. If you don't see them, it's probably because they're hidden. So I'll go ahead and hide mine for a minute. So if you look down there where it says other calendars, I can click on that down arrow and that opens it up. So all the classes that you are assigned into in Google Classroom will show up here because they each have a Google Classroom calendar. And if you want to link it here to your Google Calendar, that's an easy thing to do. You just need to make sure that you have clicked these different boxes. I'll give you an example. You can see that my Aaron Burley calendar is showing up in blue. If I unclick it, those things on the calendar disappear. I want to make sure I see them, so I click it. Same with your Google Calendar calendars. You want to make sure they're open here on your main Google Calendar. So you would want to go ahead and click each of those boxes so that they show up. Then anything that's showing up on your Google Classroom calendar will also show up on your main Google Calendar. If you have old classes old Google Classroom classes that you took in years past and they're still showing up here on your calendar, you can go to the X and remove the calendar so that it kind of cleans up your system. But for this year, I would highly recommend that you keep your Google Calendar your Google Classroom calendars linked here to your Google Calendar so that no matter what calendar you're looking at, you are getting all the information you need from your classes. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, you're welcome to email me at Erin_Burley at lkstevens.wednet.edu.